Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining Ben and I yet again for the B&B show. First episode in 3 weeks, Ben? It's been a while. Ben and I have been doing our own solo videos. Ben is, of course, the Michigan guy. I'm the Notre Dame Villanova guy. I will have a Villanova video out either later tonight or tomorrow or possibly even Sunday. Ben doesn't really have as much schedule, but Ben will have his stuff out, yeah. All right. We're talking college basketball strictly today, not the super long show. School's kicking up. But Ben, right now, who do you think will win the 2020-2021 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship?
I mean, it's hard to know because everyone likes Gonzaga. I like Gonzaga, but I've had the same problem with them the entire year. They play in the West Coast Conference, and they're not getting any competition for what they're going to face in the tournament. So I don't think Gonzaga is going to win it. I would go with either a Big 12 or Big 10 team. I think you could take a couple. Baylor, Michigan, Illinois, even like a West Virginia or an Iowa. I think that group is probably the best bet to win the tournament.
I don't agree with you. I think I said in the title, is Gonzaga the best college basketball team of all time? Because I legitimately think they could be.
Okay, I'm just going to say, Kentucky 2015, did they win the tournament? I mean,
they did not. And I'm going into that year and going into that March Madness run, I thought they were. I really did. The 5 in, 5 out, every single guy was in the NBA or has been in the NBA. I'm pretty sure 6 of them still are in the NBA, which is just nuts.
A couple of all-stars on that team.
The rest of them are overseas, G League. But regardless, just incredible. Now, Gonzaga has the West Coast Conference. That's their Achilles heel. I will say, though, BYU is a very solid team, and I think a fringe tournament team.
I
think they will, but they don't play anybody other than Gonzaga, and they've lost to Gonzaga. Now, Gonzaga's going to be a 1 seed and most likely the number 1 overall seed, so they're going to have the easiest run. Now, Michigan is up there, but I think Baylor poses a bigger threat for the national championship just because last year Baylor was just as dominant as anybody else in the country. They had a skid at the end of the year that was from some injuries, but they returned a lot of guys. I think Scott Drew is due for one. I do think Mark Few is due for one to a larger extent. He's been in that game multiple times. He's been in the Final Four. No, he's been in the championship game once against UNC 2017. He's been in the Final Four, I believe, twice, Elite Eight 4 times. So he's led some teams deep into the tournament. But I think this is a year a team like Gonzaga pulls it off. Aren't going to be fans. Does Gonzaga have the biggest fan base? No, we'll be completely honest. I think fan bases have a lot to do with it, especially come March and April. So I don't know. I just think this is Gonzaga's year. I think they have been the favorite all year. I don't see why I would change it now. They've had some shaky run-ups with Pepperdine. Ben was touching on this when we were talking earlier today. But you got to look at their wins against Iowa, West Virginia, Kansas. Just 4 big wins. 4 big wins.
Hey.
And Michigan, they have some big wins. But 4 big wins like that, especially in, I think all those games were in a month span, that's super impressive.
It was. Their non-conference was one of the more impressive ones I've seen in a long time, but it's been a long time since they've faced any team of that caliber. And when I made my Michigan Gonzaga, who should be ranked higher video, I said Gonzaga is a great team, one of the best teams in the past decade, but they play in the West Coast Conference, and that's always been a problem for them. Even when they had that 2017 Gonzaga team against North Carolina, that was one of the best teams they've had ever, and this is probably the best team they've had. Will they get over the hump? I don't think so.
All right. Well, I would like to say one thing about that. Gonzaga did reach out to Villanova, and they were in serious talks of having a game. I believe it would have been Villanova's 3rd game coming off the COVID pause. They ended up filling it with a Georgetown game. That was a close win for the Wildcat. Actually, no, excuse me. I believe it was I don't even know. But the point is, Gonzaga was trying to schedule Nova. Didn't work out. Whatever.
But let's talk about here. I'm gonna go off here.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask. We're just gonna answer this question, but who do you have as a sleeper team for the tournament?
this is a good question.
Just
This is a good question. I don't know if you can call them a sleeper team. I really don't know if you can call them a sleeper team. But Florida State, I don't think you can. They're ranked really high. I don't know. Just the top. I feel like there's a 8 to 10 team group, I guess, that are set to be a top 3 or 4 seed. There are a few Big 10, a few Big 12. The Big 10 and the Big 12 own that kind of group, and then Villanova's in that, Alabama's in that, Gonzaga's in that. But that's maybe Houston, but I think Houston actually might run into some problems early. I'm not sold on Houston this year. Got a comment. Unknown double-digit seed make a big run. I agree with you, and I also would like to touch on that. So, but I don't know if you even know this, Ben. The NCAA for this year, they're having 4 replacement teams. So you know how there's the first 4 out?
Yeah.
So the first 4 out are going to be in Indy, ready to go, practicing, hotel, like ready. Because let's say Gonzaga gets COVID and they're playing Middle Tennessee State. Well, it's UConn, Middle Tennessee State. So that's interesting. That would just be incredible if a first 4 out team comes and wins the championship. That would be the biggest Cinderella story ever.
It would. But
then you could also look at this. Maybe, and I know they're quarantining, and I know they don't see anybody, and they're very vigilant. They get tested all the time. They're safe. But imagine it's like Gonzaga, Michigan in the championship, and Michigan gets COVID, and like Richmond's terrible. I thought they would be good, but like
play the championship game 2 weeks.
But they're not going to, Ben. But let's say this, like UConn comes in and gets that'd just be funny.
That's something I don't know how they're going to deal with, because they have the safety, like the backup plan in place for if teams in the round of 64, round of 32 get it. But as you get deeper,
I have my sleeper team bet, by the way.
Okay, give me your
Loyola Chicago.
Okay, that's actually one of the teams I was going to bring up. And I'll tell you, they have the number 1 ranked defense in the country. Obviously, they play in the Missouri Valley Conference, but the Missouri Valley Conference in past years,
Drake is solid. I was watching that Drake Loyola game. That game was crazy.
Missouri State is solid. There's some good teams in that conference, and Drake is probably going to squeak into the tournament if they don't screw up in the conference tournament. So there probably will be 2 Missouri Valley Conference teams in the tournament.
Sister
Jean is still alive. Someone commented asking. She's like 101. She's actually still alive. But
I'd also like to say Loyola Chicago obliterated Southern Illinois 73-49 just a few minutes ago.
For all those people who were watching when they made the Final Four run that was ended by Michigan a couple years ago, one of the best players on that team, Cameron Krutwig, they're a big boy. He's still there.
Makes sense. You know what, Ben? I have a picture with Cameron Krutwig. I also have his autograph. I met him at the Windy City Bulls game. Yes, I did.
Oh, he was just attending it?
Yeah, well, I believe they were facing the Greensboro Swarm, the Hornets G League team. They had a guy. Oh, he was their other center. They had 2 centers that would go in and out, bald, African American, like 6'8", 6'9", lefty. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but the dude with the shot. I don't know how I'm forgetting these names. We all knew these names. It's something Porter maybe. Like he was a small forward, 6'6", was on the Bulls G League team. He hit the shot against Miami in the first round. Damn, how am I forgetting this?
I don't know.
If we Google it, I mean, we can find it in a second. But they were there just supporting because 2 of the players in the game were there, and I don't know. They had nothing better to do, I guess. But yeah, just a little thing. Who's your sleeper team, Ben?
So if you're gonna go with Florida State as like a team to watch, I mean,
no, I'm going.
You went with Loyola.
Florida State will probably be a top.
We're a
5
lower seeded sleeper team. I'm just gonna do something. You started with Florida State, so I'll start with a team in that kind of area. Oklahoma State. They're either a 4 or 5 seed, and that team is so tough. Like last night, they fought Baylor really hard. Cade Cunningham was injured, but
he'll be fine. I saw that.
Hopefully he's all right. He is one of the best players in college basketball. He's so fun to watch. Sometimes he's off, but like when he's on, he's the best player in college basketball, in my opinion.
I agree.
So when he's on, they are tough. If he gets hot in the tournament, that's like a top 2 seed caliber team that's going to be playing in the 4 or 5 range. They could upset a 1 seed if they're playing well.
Absolutely. So, no, I'm right with you. They're a scary team. But who is your lower rank? Maybe 5 or below seed, 6 or below seed.
I'm going to go Big Ten here. I'm going to go with Maryland. That team,
Wow.
they're like an 8-9. They have a lot of.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Look,
I thought you know who I thought you were gonna go? Texas Tech is a sleeper. I agree. I was
Yeah.
gonna say that I thought you would go with Purdue.
Purdue's not
They
low
just,
enough.
they just got to win again. I think they'll end up being a 7 seed. They're gonna.
Oh, you should look at bracketology. They're a 4 seed on a lot of brackets.
Yeah, but they're not gonna do good in the conference tournament. They're gonna
We'll
get placed up against.
Look,
a
Purdue's a
top
good
team.
team, but I'm gonna go even lower. Maryland's like an 8-9, maybe 10, depending on how they do it the rest of the season. They did just lose to Northwestern, so that's tough. But that's a team that is capable of beating the best teams in college basketball. They beat Illinois, they beat Wisconsin on the road, and they have a lot of talent. There's 3 guys: Daryl Morcell, Eric Ayala, and Aaron Wiggins. Those 3 dudes are talented wing players and can lock up and score on the best of the country. So watch Maryland.
All right, you heard our picks. You heard our picks. Thank you for watching. Big 12 is so loaded. Yes, they are. The Big 12
Thank you
just
for
right up there with the
commenting,
Big 10.
Irish
Yes,
football
we
fan.
appreciate it. Anyone else watching, make sure you like, subscribe, do that good stuff. Ben and I will have more content out, and probably another podcast before the madness begins next week
for
or in
sure.
2 weeks. Can't wait for that. Selection Sunday, maybe we'll do an immediate reaction to that, Ben, or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Selection Sunday is always special. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Chuck a like on the video. Share with your friends. Comment. I'll respond to all comments. Yes. And see you guys in the next video, whether that's Ben or me.